Welcome back everybody, Steve here, Command Centre Wargaming. Alright, so today we're going to have a look at how to actually strip down your models. Now, it's something I've only done once or twice, to be honest, because usually I do my pre-planning and I don't tend to have any problems. But on occasion, you know, you can go through, you can think you have a formula, and like I have this time, and it wasn't quite right, you know, wasn't quite 100% right. So we're going to have a look at doing that. Now, the situation is with the stripping is that last night I'm obviously trying to like smash myself to get my Chaos Marines at least sort of like layer base coated by tomorrow with my game with Maddie. And in doing that, I was up till 5 AM doing it, all while working today and all that kind of stuff, but that's how we do it. And so I was very tired when I was doing it, and basically what happened is I was using this experimental paint here, and then it turned out that it has these really strange properties, and what it does once you apply it, it evaporates. Like, it's water-based, it's acrylic, everything like that, so really there shouldn't be any issues. But it's it wasn't quite the desired result that I wanted. And what happened was every time I put like a Citadel paint on the top of it, when I wanted to try to adjust the crimson, it wouldn't take. And I was taking photos of it and it looked great. I'd go out for a rest, come back like 20 minutes later to wait for it to dry for me to do the next layer, and it had gone back to like this rusty brown color, and I'm like, oh my goodness, what's going on? So I was getting trolled by the paint, right? Which is pretty crazy. I've never had this before. This is the first time it's ever happened to me. So I'll go into the Red Corsairs. You can have a look at them. They're looking great now, because I went through and had a look at them. But yeah, so we'll have a look at those guys, and it should be good. And you know, and so I thought, well, I'm gonna have to strip one of them down, right? I'm gonna have to strip them down, start again, because if I have to go through and airbrush them again, you know, I've already gone over it a couple of times because I do quite a bit of layering. I don't want to lose too many models, you know, too much detail from the models and stuff like that, you know, because it's you know, the new Chaos models, they've got heaps of detail, and I don't want it to stuff up. So yeah, all right. So now we're going to get into that. That's what we're going to be doing today. And what you will need, you are going to need, I'll tell you what you're going to need. This is my recommendation for stripping down models. It might not necessarily be the best way. It's just the way that I do it, what I think is the best way. So the first thing you're going to need a scrubber brush. Alright, it's a simple scrubber brush. It cost me $3. Alright, not too crazy strong, right? But just something to basically that was going to, you know, allow you to scrub stuff off. You only have to be very light with this, guys. Alright, you don't have to go turbo. The stuff's going to come off. Alright. Then I'm going to need like some kind of like container. Now I've just chosen this lunchbox here, right? I've got a little bit of depth here, so you know, it allows my model to float around, allows me to have a little bit of solution inside there. Alright, and now you can use Dettol, but I use Methylated Spirits. Alright, obviously be very careful with this. It stinks, it's poisonous to a point, but it's, you know, unless you do silly things with the stuff, you know, like, you should be okay. Keep it out of your kids' way, like, you know, and make sure you put it up high or something like that. But aside from that, you can even use it indoors. Alright, I'm going to be using it in here. But just to be safe, the other stuff that I'll use will be, well, I've got my miniature here as well, right, which is what I'm going to be using for today. It's an old Dark Angels Deathwing Terminator that I used McCraig blue on, and I'm not really a fan of it, so I'm going to strip it down, you know, so I can repaint it properly, because the base coat, I did this in Perth actually, the base coat was is not the best. It's a little bit grainy, so you know, like, your base coat is the first step in having a good miniature. Or your undercoat, you know, if your undercoat is not consistent, unless you're painting something like Nurgle or something like that, then the rest of the model's not going to be consistent, okay? So that one there, and I'm also going to be using my safety mask, okay? My rebreather, all right? Basically, because this stuff smells, and I figure like I'm going to use it anyway. because it's here. So, you know, you don't really need the rebreather for the terps, but it does stink. From what I know of, well, I shouldn't really comment on that. I'm not a medical expert. But look, yeah, get yourself some safety gear. That's what I'll say formally. And then, you know, whatever you do, you do in your own risk. All right. So, you know, I'm not going to advise people on things like that on YouTube. So yeah, so I'm just telling you how I do it, not telling you how to do it. Okay. So basically, yeah. And that's it. So we've got terps with that, yep. And that's basically what you're going to need. All right. Some people use dead oil. Some people use all sorts of stuff. But the thing is methylated spirits is a lot cheaper. It's a lot faster. And it basically, you know, it'll strip it down a lot better. And it won't really interact with the plastic. All right. Maybe if you leave it overnight in there, maybe you might get some surprises. I don't know. I've never tried that. Maybe someone here has. Let me know in the comments down below. But you know, for me, my rule is that if it's a good quality plastic model, like say Citadel, you know, especially the Citadel models lately, like they're really good quality. The plastic's really good quality. You know, anything from 3 to 5 minutes, you have it sitting in there soaking in the turpentine in the container. Check it in the 3-minute mark, see how it's going, give it a bit of a scrub. If not, put it back in there for 5 minutes, so another 3 minutes on top, or 6 minutes. Then pull it out, and it should be ready to rock after that. And then you know, give it a scrub, and then essentially then put it back in, and that will help to break up a lot of the paint. Right, so when you scrub it for like 5 minutes, 6 minutes, it's going to help you to, you know, the paint to go in the pores of the methylated spirits to go into the pores of the paint, and it helps to break it up from the inside. And so you should only have your model in there for another 15-20 minutes soaking before you can scrub it down, right? And it's up to you how far you want to go with it. You can go through and basically scrub it to the bone to where it's clear plastic again. A lot of people don't. They basically just like to get it, you know, near to it, you know. So usually, depending on the model, if it's just a troop or something, I'll just get it to half base coat, half plastic. If it's something like a commander or something, goodness knows why I'd ever want to, you know, repaint one of those. Because if I was silly enough to stuff the paint job anyway, then yeah, I should be more careful. But if it's a commander or something like that, then, you know, you're probably looking at, like, maybe, you know, give it maybe 20 minutes or something, maybe 30 minutes, and, you know, get it right down that plastic, you know. So obviously the better the miniature, the better the quality you want to do. So yeah, so I was gonna pick the Rhino over there that I got from eBay, which is just woeful, but it's really big. It's going to be clunky, as I state in the next part of this tutorial. But I will keep it, the Crimson, the Red Corsairs in there. I'm not going to cut it from the video. I actually found out that I could fix them. I didn't have to redunk them, strip them down. But I also go through a lot of technique in there for painting, so I thought I'm going to leave it in here. Originally I bought all this to strip these down. That was going to be the video, but then I fixed them. And then I was going to go through and strip down a Rhino that I bought from eBay. Decided I'm going to strip this guy down anyway instead, right? Because it's just more practical to do for the tutorial. I'm not going to cancel the tutorial because I was able to salvage my work. It's something that I've been wanting to do for a while here on the channel, something that I want on the database as well, and I figure, look, you know, it might help you guys out one day when you might want to strip something down. So, alright, yeah, so just quickly, we got the Vigilus book, alright, as well. So this is a thing, we're going to be getting into that on the channel. I've got my cultists here. Right, so 3 squads of cultists, which are actually out of my army now. Alright, but got them there. Right, we got another squad of Chaos Space Marines, which is going to need to be unboxed and assembled by tonight and painted up for the game tomorrow. At least base coat and layered. Then we have another squad of Space Marines. Whoops, I forgot I got 2 of them. Hang on a minute. I'm going to shut my mouth. Okay. No, it's all right. No, I did buy them. I did pay for them. Because I pre-ordered this stuff, and I just thought that like they accidentally put a squad of Marines in there for me, but like for free. But no, they did. I did pay for them. I remember now, so it's all good. Otherwise, yeah, I'm just like, shit. Shut up, Steve. You know. But anyway, cool. So and the big man himself, Abaddon. All right. So basically, yeah. So look, there's a lot of unboxing there. A lot of stuff we're gonna have to do. A lot of videos we're gonna have to do on the channel, which is really good. A lot of content I have to do. Got a game tomorrow. I've confirmed with Maddie that's going on. So there may not be a video tomorrow unless we get to 800 subscribers and I do our draw. If we do our draw, then I'll bust my head out and get a video done for you guys so I can start sending you prizes. But I think we're at like 889 now or something. So hopefully we'll get a few more. I'd really like to get those out to you, send those off by next week so people can use their units in games. And Thursday I'll be down at Games Workshop Sydney at Town Hall, and basically to have a few games there. The guys down there are really awesome, so I'll be taking some footage. I've already got their consent to do it, and it's going to be fantastic. So yeah, look, if you want to keep up to date on all the latest Warhammer news, reviews, tutorials, all that kind of stuff, please consider subscribing to the channel. You know, we post Warhammer related content and tabletop wargaming content extremely regularly, and fantastic. All right, guys, let's get into this. Let's get into the video. First, I'll show you the Red Corsairs and where I'm up to with them, and talk about my technique and what happened, where it's stuffed up. If you're not interested in that, you can just skip ahead. Right, skip ahead on the time slider. I'll put a link in the description down below, like a time code where the actual what do you call it, the stripping tutorial starts. And then you can just watch from there. All right, so fantastic, guys. All right, everybody, thank you so much, and I'll see you in there. It's going to be awesome. Yeah, all right, guys. So these are the culprits here. And look, I've got to be honest. I thought that they were really bad, but I actually, when I just came home from work, then I'm actually looking at them, and they're actually pretty all right. Like it's probably the camera is probably applying a little bit of a filter to it to make them look lighter. But if you actually have a look, they actually, yeah, so I don't know what happened there. Like, it might have been like the lighting in my room or something like that, that was playing up last night. But, you know, I was kind of going for this blood red wine, you know, very dark crimson color. And, you know, like, you guys know, like, I like, whoop, there he goes. You guys know I like to sort of, like, you know, throw the ball a little bit and sort of like invent new stuff. So, you know, I'm happy with the blending. I'm happy with the washing and everything. But it was just, you know, the red. You know, I wasn't completely 100%, you know, sold on the red color. But it looks like, I don't know, like maybe overnight these dried up a bit from the tint that I put on it, you know, or what. But I think these are looking better. So I may not even have to run these under the fluid. I might just be able to maybe do a little bit of correction with this and see how it goes. So yeah, I mean, just so I can show you too. So this was the paint. So just be wary about this paint. So you can see here, you got this paint here. This is from Hobbyco. It's called Russet. And so what it is, I thought that it was I'll put this down so you can actually see it. Like, it looks red and it looks like maroon, so like this is meant to be the base coat and stuff. Now, it kind of looks like that now because I've flooded it with Tamiya Clear Red to tint it and like all these other special tricks that I used to repair it. But when they actually first came out, and I think I've got a photo of them here on the camera, I'll see if I can edit it in. They came up like very, very rusty, like rust almost, brown. And you know, and what was happening is that like I was going through them, and when they were wet, they looked like this. And then, you know, whenever I painted something over the top of that color, it's like the paint evaporated off it, and it didn't stick to it. It was crazy. Like, they're both acrylic paints, like, but the GW paints, I went over it. I did like a mix of Khorne red and Mephiston red, and you know, like, and it just evaporated off. So, like, there's obviously something in that Mr. Hobby blend. I'll be steering clear of those in the future. But they do have some cool paints. I've got a few of them. They've got some nice variety paints there. But yeah, so look, what I'll do, I'll go ahead now off camera and I'll attempt to correct these by maybe doing a correction coat of Mephiston Red, or even Mephiston Evil Sun Scarlet mix 50-50, and then try to wash over it again to bring it back down, and see how that works. Just to pop it out, you know, so it looks more red, like on the shoulder pads and stuff like that, just on the extreme highlights. Just to, yeah, because I'm about 70% happy with them. You know, I could pass them, but I really wanted them to be a little bit more sort of like red. Because right now they're looking wine colour, they're looking maroni, you know, crimsony maroni, and that was the point of them. Like, I wanted them crimsony maroni, but it's just a little bit too far, I think, a little bit too dark. So I just want to light them up just a tad. So the method I'll be using here, I'll be spiking the hue with some lighter colours and then just blocking it down with the Tamiya clear red to adjust the hue saturation over the top. So yeah, let's see how it comes out. And look, so if it come out alright, then I'm not going to bother stripping the other ones. What I'll do is I'll show you how to strip down your Mini anyway, but I'll find another Mini. Like, I might just find, I know, I've got this horrible Rhino that I bought off eBay like about 2 years ago. I'll strip the crap out of that. The paint job is like absolutely horrible. Like, it's the worst thing I've seen. Nearly the worst thing I've seen. I'll strip that, or I'll strip something else. I'll work it out. But we're definitely going to do the tutorial. All right, guys. So look, I'm going to go give this a go now, and I'll stop the camera, and I'll then let you know how we go and show you the end result. All right, brothers. So I'm back. So I think I fixed them. I'm happy with them now. I don't think you can see that, but I used some wet brushing, basically to pick up the reds just a little bit. And I just went like straight Mephiston red. So I don't know if you can see on that Thunderhammer guy. You can see here, like just on his shoulder pads. It's hard to tell with this camera. They look a lot better in person. But yeah, just to pick up the reds just a little bit. You'll notice that I went on the miniature. So you notice I went on the upper parts of the feet, the knees, anywhere where there's light hitting. Alright, I just went some straight Mephiston just to get them to pop out. The thing is, just keep in mind, guys, that, like, you know, you got to remember they're not Space Marines, right? Anyone who's painting these, like, it's very easy to go, you know, they're not Blood Angels, right? You know, like, they're Crimson Space Marine Chaos friggin' pirates, right? So, you know, if you do paint these, the tip I'll give you is, in my opinion, keep them as dark as you can. If you're going to make the material pop out, make it like sort of dielectric. Don't make it too stark. I will maybe do edge highlights on these, very subtle edge highlights. I think I'm going to mix up to Mephiston Red with Evil Sun Scarlet. I'm not going to go like full Evil Sun Scarlet. Yeah, so anyway, I'm happy with them now. Right, they're looking good. And now I could go on to my assembly. But what I'll do is now in the tutorial, I'll go through and we'll have a look at stripping down a model. It should be good. Right, guys, so I'm going in. You might hear a little bit of a muffle. That's because of my respirator. Okay, so I'm very sorry about the sound quality. I'll try to yell, but I really need it on
because, like I said, like I don't want to, you know, it's safety first, guys. So it's very important that you look after yourself and your safety. So just a quick edit here that I'll just chuck in here, guys. Get yourself some safety gear, and I think I'll probably sound like Bane. So guys, the first thing you need to understand is that I'm going tactical, right? And there's nothing better than painting Space Marines while you look like a Vanguard Space Marine. It's just the SHIT. All right, fantastic. Anyway, let's get over to the table here and have a look and see what we can see in our little pot here, a little alcove. All right, it's just to have enough daylight here, so I'm not going to go through and bother with any lighting and that. You should be able to see it pretty well. So, I mean, really, it's just the instructions, you know, that we're going through here anyway. So, okay, so first of all, and I have to tell you as well. So, if you noticed, I've got my my container with a lid, and the reason is because if it's got a lid, like, why not? While my model's soaking in there, I can, you know, put my lid up on the top. So, you know, number one, it stops the smell, right, a lot. Number two, it, you know, if I spill it, whatever, or knock it, it might stop a null oil, you know, disaster, a China syndrome with null oil. So yeah, so anyway, if anyone gets a joke, China syndrome was this radioactive scare they had, where a Chinese power plant was going to go supernova, not supernova, critical, and they were concerned that the residue, that the radioactive waste was going to melt through China and outside the other end of the Earth. So yeah, anyway, a little bit of a fact there. So well, the other thing I have to do, guys, I'm just going to have to open my window. So you might hear some noise, some traffic noise and stuff. But I've got to do it because, you know, this stuff stinks and I want to be giving you guys tutorials, not dead, alright, or with lung conditions and stuff. So alright, first thing I'll do, I should have some gloves on, but I think I'll live. I'm going to pop the cork on this turpentine. Right, and just be very careful. It's got like a safety cap on, which is actually really good because it protects, you know, from the young fellas and, you know, and all that. If they get their hands on stuff, you know, it's a little bit harder for kids to open. And I'm just going to pour it in there. Now, just be very careful. Try not to get it to splash everywhere. Alright. And what you've got to understand as well, what's absolutely awesome with terps as well, is that you can actually reuse it. So you can reuse it a fair few times. Now I need to put a fair bit in here because, oh, what a waste. Gee, I'm wasting all this turpentine on something I don't even really need to strip. But that's okay, it's not a waste, it's a tutorial for you guys, so that's fine by me, that's absolutely fine. So yeah, alright, so we've got our liquid in there now, and luckily for me, I can't smell anything because I'm, you know, Darth Vader from the planet Vulcan. Back to the Future quote. So let's go back in here, and yeah, I got my model in here, alright, my turpentine in here. I'm going to put my model in, and I'll lay him flat so that he's completely covered. And I can see here a little bit of the base is sticking out. I'm not going to be too concerned with that right now because the base I could just paint over it anyway, and it will just be cool. So you won't really see much straight away, but I think I can actually see some stuff happening already. But you know, you can still sort of see the water starting to get a little bit bluer. But the paint's just got to go sitting there for about 5-10 minutes and break itself up. So I'm just going to go through, put the lid back on my my little lunchbox there. Alright, stop some of the fumes from getting out. And it should be good. And in about 5 minutes I'll come back to that. and we'll get it going. So what I'll do is I'll stop the camera now and come back to it about 5 minutes, and then I'll open it, and then we'll go through and have a look again. All right, fantastic, everybody, wonderful.
All right, guys, fantastic. So we're back again. It's been about 5-10 minutes, so it should be good. It should be good to get in there, give it a bit of a scrub. Now remember, the first scrub we're doing is just to break the surface up a little bit, so the rest of the paint can come in. Then we're going to need to give it like another, 20 minutes or so, right? So all good. Now, I just wonder, should I give you a little bit of a sneak peek as a reward for those of you who've watched the video this far of my work in progress obliterator? Yes, I think I will. So this is a work in progress obliterator. I don't know if you can see that. Hopefully you can. It's probably out of focus. It's the first thing I'm doing, guys, fixing this camera up. Once we could get going a bit, but anyway, it's probably, yeah, you probably can't see it, but all good in the hood. I'll do a video for that later where you can see it a lot better, so you can see it's coming up okay, but it's nowhere near finished. So awesome. So yeah, let's do it. Safety on, so you get my mask on, which is very important. Okay, remember to use these as well when you're using like Tamiya paints as well. This facial setup has allowed me to work with Accolade 2 lacquer paints as well. Again, this is originally what this was for. So wonderful. All right, let's have a look, see what we can see. So let's get down here. Sorry about my ghetto camera moves, but it is YouTube. Alright, so hopefully this should be good. Yep. Alright, so let's get this on here. You can start to see now the water's changed a little bit of colour. So you can start to see the blue tint in there from the paint. And I should have a glove on, but I think I'll leave. And basically you can see here that the Terminator, there are parts of paint flaking off him already, but you can actually see here already that the Terminator is starting to break up. Now, Games Workshop paint does do really well to hold the paint on there, but it is still acrylic, and it's really good because that's the good thing about, there it is, look how easy that's coming off. So look at that, it's white already. I just literally like scrubbed it once with a brush, and it's just literally just coming off. Look at that. Right, so just scrubbing it with my brush, not too hard, don't have to go too crazy with it. You don't have to worry about wrecking the plastic either, guys. At this stage, the turpentine won't have any bearing on the plastic. Alright, so even if it looks like it is, that's just the paint, it's not actually the plastic. Alright, so now I have a Nova Marine. Half white, half blue. So I'm just going to scrub this up a little bit more. You can also use a toothbrush as well. Toothbrush will work really good for this as well. Just getting it in there is going to be a little bit of a... Unfortunately, I already glued this on. So that's why it's good to have a big brush so you can get in there. You can use the side of it. Oh, it's starting to mess with the glue. So I mean, look at that. It's already down to the plastic. I reckon, I could even probably use it here. I could even probably use it here. Alright, but all that residual stuff, that's got to come off. That's actually not the plastic, that's from the white undercoat.
So I'm going to go through, stick her in again for another dunk, and wash my hands, and I'll give it another 20 minutes, and we'll be right back. Yeah, hope you're enjoying the tutorial, everybody. Fantastic.
Right guys, fantastic. So let's see how we did. It's easily been like maybe 30 minutes now, so I've let it go a little bit longer, so I'm hoping that this will be all good, and it looks like it's stripped down pretty well. Stuff actually doesn't smell as bad as what I thought, so we can just scrub this now. Wow, that really worked well. This has actually worked better than what I expected. And like the plastic is like perfect. It's the only thing is there's, you know, if there's any roughness in the plastic, it's because of the paint. Just some little bits of paint that are still left on there. But look, with that said, if you look at that, right, you can see here it's pretty damn good. So I mean, look at that back section. Alright, like you gotta ignore the sort of paint around here, but it's right down to the plastic, so yeah. Really impressed with that. Really impressed. And I could continue to scrub that. If I had like a toothbrush, I could really get in there and scrub that out. But this would be enough for me to, you know, like base coat this now, undercoat this. Yep. So now with the terps, the methylated spirits as well. So this stuff actually will just evaporate over time. So you know, you can leave it there or do whatever you want. You can tip it down the toilet or tip it outside or whatever it is you want. But yeah. And this brand actually doesn't smell at all really much. This is Digger's Methylated Spirits. So yeah. Anyway, everybody, I'll leave the video there. I hope you've enjoyed it. I'm going to jump over to doing some Chaos unboxings. And if you like what you've seen here, please consider subscribing to the channel. We post Warhammer content often. And I'll catch us in the next video, everybody. Thank you very much. Command Centre Wargaming.